I'm Chef Ed Villarreal, the host of Homegrown Chef, a new culinary series featuring local chefs, local food, local libations, and as many edible inspirations as we can find here in San Antonio's ever-evolving culinary world. Hi everyone, welcome to Homegrown Chef. I'm Chef Ed. Today we're back inside of the Witte kitchen and we're working with Chef Louis Colon from FOLC, and he'll be creating this wonderful duck dish for us today. Louis, tell us about your dish.
Great. So the dish we're doing today, it's duck breast, pan-seared. We made a little duck stock as well here. Just got that reducing down. Wild mushrooms, Swiss chard that I like to use very much so, and then the turnips that we're going to roast.
Fantastic. Good.
So we're going to start off with the breast. We're going to sear it off so we can start getting a nice little rendering on the skin. So I'm going to start by scoring it so you can get a nice red fat rendering out.
So tell me, Louis, what really brought on this dish for you? What made you think of making this dish for us?
So for us, at FOLC, we like to work with a lot of like natural ingredients and try to keep them as whole as possible. So we like to use a lot of like everything as far as like whether it be like the carcass of the duck, for example, the Swiss chard. We rarely, clean them to keep them whole intact as far as like the stems and all that stuff. Because a lot of that stuff has a lot of flavor, the natural flavor of the actual Swiss chard or the mushrooms or the duck.
So everything we're seeing here, we're sourcing everything locally
as
here
local
in
as
San
possible.
Antonio.
Correct. So here we have the duck going. Nice little scare on there.
I can see you're scoring the skin up top.
Right, so it releases more of that fat. So we'll put it in the dry pan because it's going to render out quite a bit of fat. And then here, we're going to start getting the turnips going. So again, very little anything add to it. This is going to create its own steam inside.
Okay.
So here I just put it here, just a little bit of salt.
And we're just going to oven roast these?
Correct.
Okay.
So you wrap them up. It makes like a little package itself. And these take quite a bit. These are very, very hearty.
Well, I can see that duck fat rendering looks really nice. You can smell all the aromas coming up. What's your big, what would you call your big inspiration in food? Where do you grab your concepts, your flavor styles?
Well, I mean, I think the genesis of it began with my mom, right? Mom, grandma, always in the kitchen,
my grandma.
always cooking, right? And then from there, for it to become a profession, I thought, that'd be a cool way to make a living, right? So, and then hard work in the kitchen, working 14 hours and 10 hours, that's something that I like. And a lot of people, maybe a little too shy to do things like that. We spend a lot of hours on your feet, cooking with fire.
It's the love.
Yeah, and the heat and being uncomfortable.
It's just a big passion.
Right. But just kind of like lift it up a little bit. You kind of see it's starting to get nice black color, right?
See all that.
So then the storage, all the fat is starting to render out. So right now at this point, I haven't had any seasoning yet. I had seasoning right at the very last moment. That way it doesn't concentrate flavors or anything like that, right? So here I'm planting.
So tell us a little bit about these mushrooms that you have going on right here.
Sure. So these are our local premier. They do wild mushroom foraging. Okay. For example,
so these are foraged.
Correct.
Oh, fantastic.
So here we have some chanterelles, enoki mushrooms, and hen of the woods.
Okay.
I like it to give it a nice earthy tone.
Right.
And it goes very well with the duck, I believe. Right? So you have the reduction of the duck stock here. That's made with red wine, obviously your mirepoix and things like that. And then the earth tones come in. We'll have the turnips, and then you also have your mushrooms as well. As far as like foraging and collecting and things like that, obviously you gotta have a knowledge of what it is that you pick. The mushrooms can be pretty deadly. Some of these mushrooms, they don't grow well, whether they be farmed, right?
Right.
And then not only that, it adds to the flavor.
Oh yeah, I think it's a wonderful thing that they're foraging these mushrooms so that we can get a really nice fresh flavor out of them and everything.
Right.
So let's take a look at the duck breast. How's everything going on in here?
So everything's starting to come up a little crispy. I like to maybe touch the skin. You can kind of hear it, right?
Beautiful.
Starting to get nice and crispy there. Might go a little bit more. Now we can probably crank it up. Get nice and crispy. The stuff is starting to come together.
That's beautiful right there. You can see how it's nice and shiny. All the gelatin's coming through. It's really nice. This is going to be the sauce.
That's correct.
So what exactly did you create this from?
So in here, so once you break down the ducks, you get your legs, you get your breasts, the carcasses. We have a wood burning oven at home. They get a nice little smoky flavor. We put it in there, get the bones nice and roasted, and then we just reduce it down. Some mirepoix, clear juice, clear water, and just reduce it down until you get a nice little thick consistency.
Fantastic.
So again, using every part of the animal,
Right.
nothing goes to waste. And obviously, at the restaurant, the legs go for something else, whether it be a duck fried rice or anything like that. Again, cost effective, and you use every part of the animal.
Every part of the animal.
Yeah.
Right. Good. In this case, bill to tail.
Correct. Correct. So, take another look at this guy. Nice.
That's
crispy,
beautiful.
right? So at this point, I am going to season now.
Okay. And like we said, we didn't season in the beginning, so it wouldn't like concentrate in too much, right?
Right.
Okay.
And not only that, the leftover stuff stays in the pan, because again, all this is going to go back
so at the
into
same
pan.
time, we're going to season everything up for that. Okay.
Great.
Right here, you can see how the fat's rendered out. The duck skin's gotten all real nice and crispy. You know, the duck breast itself starting to plump up with its juices.
Right.
It's a beautiful piece.
Okay.
Beautiful. So, Louis, how long have you been cooking here in San Antonio?
Right. Let's see. I graduated in 2004 from culinary school. Moved back into town, and so 2004 to now 17, so about 13 years.
How do you feel about our culinary scene here in San Antonio? How it's evolving? You know?
Right. I think it's exciting time. I'd say within the last 5 years, we've had a lot of young chefs, you know, like myself, that open up their own restaurant and kind of step out.
I see a lot of us young chefs coming back.
Right.
We're evolving. We're bringing brand new things back in.
Right.
You know, lots of different fusions happening.
Yeah. And and a lot of people are moving to San Antonio, right? And they're expecting things that they have in
New things.
LA and Chicago, things like that.
So now we're done cooking the duck.
So again, we rendered out all the fat. We got the nice duck fat, no oil. We didn't have to add anything because the duck, again, is used to cook everything throughout. So the nice little turnip, purple top turnips that we had in the oven earlier, nice and roasted off. We're going to put those in there. Those in there, nice and brown.
So you're gonna let those brown up in the fat?
That duck fat.
Okay.
Right? And then we're gonna come in with the nice wild mushrooms that we have.
Now I love all the earthiness you got going on and everything. It's just the type of stuff that you do over at FOLC, yes?
Right. So
when you came up with FOLC, what was your concept? What were you thinking? What did you want to bring?
Right. So we call it New American. New American meaning that we take from a lot of what America is, different cultures, turn it into one.
Now, FOLC.
Uh-huh.
I gotta know about this fried chicken I hear so much about.
Right. So we get all our chicken whole. We brine them for 24 hours.
Okay.
And then again, we use that wood-fired oven that we have at the shop. We either roast it, grill it, or fry it. And then so we brine it, put them out, and let them air dry in the fridge or
right.
So that way the skin gets that nice crispiness. So when you fry, whether you fry it or you roast
it. So you're basically drying the skin out a little bit on this. I got you. I know what you're doing.
So now we're going to season a little bit more in the pan.
I also heard about this big burger.
Oh man, yeah. So we were blessed to have the #1 burger in the state of Texas. Born in Texas.
Really?
And that was fun. So now we're starting to get nice little color on the turnips.
Right. See all that caramelization happening right over there.
And then I'm only going to do one side as far as like the searing.
Okay.
So it creates texture, right?
Right.
So now it's a nice soft turnip because it's been baked already, and now we do a nice little crust.
Right, with that little crispiness right on the edge.
Exactly.
And you can smell. You can smell all the turnip caramelizing, all the mushrooms working together.
And then just to finish it off now, we're going to do a nice little earthy Swiss chard in there. And again, I like some stems are good. So I prefer some of these stems just because it gives it a nice, again, texture. It's not just soft leaves.
Okay.
So it gives it a nice little bite as well. And then here, since it wants barely enough cooking, I think we kind of use some of this stuff and kind of help it cook that way. With the actual, and then you're not going to get very overcooking of the lettuce, so to speak. So it gets a nice little sheen. It's soft, cooked, but not raw. When we come to the final plate up. Nice little brown color.
You can see how things are starting to break down with the Swiss chard. We got the caramelization happening on the turnip.
On the turnip, the mushrooms
right,
are ready. They're not mushy yet, right?
Right.
So they're still nice and hot. And then we have the duck here. So we start with the plating. Everything's very visual. People eat with their eyes first, right?
I believe that very much so as well.
So the turnips will kind of be your base. And now for the duck. Nice and rested duck. crispy skin come here.
So tell me about the flavor concept on this dish.
Right.
What are we looking for? What's actually going on?
So, throughout the whole dish, we use everything to kind of cook each other. So everything's still kind of harmonious. The stock made from the carcasses, the fat from the rendered duck breast is within everything else. So everything has the beginnings of the duck.
It's
right?
just marrying everything
Exactly.
together.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Everything's
then-
going to have this wonderful duck influence.
So here we have a nice pink color. Right? So
Right, you can see right
Exactly.
there how it's nice and
Uh-huh.
rested. All the juices are still nice and on the
Right.
inside.
So then I'm going to go ahead and salt this before I put it on the plate. I don't want any excess salt on the plate
Okay.
itself. Right. So you kind of little excess juice there. Up there like that.
Now I notice
Yeah.
you don't use just a white flake.
Right, right. So again, earth tones and trying to the natural look of things as opposed to like a stark white, right? So now we're gonna use like things that they kind of look good together. Here we're gonna use the mushrooms now to cover up that duck. That
That is a beautiful dish.
nice and earthy, and then right on top that nice wilted Swiss chard that you had. Right?
So this is something you create there at FOLC?
Yes, yes, sir. And then we put this in a little saucer, and we pour it table side. But for here, I'll go ahead and just pour it on there, just like that.
That's
So we
beautiful.
have all that
right
jus in there.
Right.
So again, the whole dish is harmonious, in that it starts with duck, it ends with duck. Everything's cooked with the duck fat. And there we have it. The pan-seared duck breasts with the purple top turnips, the wild mushrooms, and the Swiss chard with the duck jus.
Yeah, the wild mushroom. That's so fantastic. It was so fantastic. Louis, thank you so very much
Thank
for
you very
coming
much.
on
I
Homegrown
really
Chef.
appreciate it. Thank you.